Alright, so this is a video that I've actually been wanting to make for some time now because I always enjoyed watching camera rig videos. Seeing how someone customizes their camera to work for them and for the content that they produce is actually pretty cool. And whether that content is music videos, feature films, documentaries, or just YouTube videos, it's always been something that I've been interested in. Alright, now admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of a bunch of random third-party stuff just hanging off my camera, and I've always really favored rigs that look well put together. They don't look like a DIY experiment, and a lot of times that comes down to the form factor of the camera. So of course, like box-style cameras look really cool, like the Red Komodo, for instance. It looks nice and clean when it's rigged out with all these first-party red accessories. But one of the biggest factors that drew me to the Sony FX9 was the fact that everything you really need is built into the camera. It's like a one-stop shop. For instance, there's no need for a variable ND because there's an amazing auto VND built into this camera, and it's truly a game changer in my opinion. For the majority of the work that I was producing, there was no real need for like V-mounts or gold mounts, and these little Core Nano M series batteries were getting me through most shoots with ease, and the autofocus on this camera is actually amazing and really reliable, so using auto glass is always much easier for me. Not having to worry about pulling focus for a one-man team is actually a really big plus. And I'm able to eliminate that burden because it's built into the camera. So the majority of the changes that I've made to my camera rig are ones that will make me more efficient when it comes to long form content, and also ones that have improved the ergonomics for the way I film 95% of the time. So let's run down some of the items that I've added to my camera over the last couple years. First, of course, we have the camera itself, the Sony FX9. You all know how I feel about it. I made an entire video reviewing it after 100 hours of filming. I'll leave that linked on the screen here and in the description down below. Next, we have the Smallrig half cage. Now, this is one piece that I added immediately to my rig because I wanted the ability to mount more things to my camera without adding too much weight. Also, when I first got this camera, I wanted to stay away from V-mounts and gold mounts because of the added weight and size. For the content I was creating, it was more important for me to be nimble, and this half cage helps me do that. Now, this top plate actually comes with the half cage, but also added this insert in between the U-shaped plate, so that way I can have more mounting points. Also, fun fact, most of the accessories for this rig come from Smallrig. Now, that wasn't super intentional at first, but it's just where I found most of the accessories for this build. When it comes to third-party accessories for the Sony FX9, there really aren't a ton of options. Smallrig just actually had all the ones I needed. This top handle is by far my favorite recent addition to this rig. For the longest, I was just using a stock top handle, which is great because you get the record button, you get the tight and wide rocker, and it's light, but my dilemma was that I needed more mounting options when on narrative sets, and you got a sound guy and a first AC, and trying to add stuff to your rig, and this top handle gives me a ton of quarter 20s, gives me 2 cold shoe mounts, a bunch of area connection points. And also in the past, I would always mount my monitor to the hot shoe on the stock handle, and over time that shoe began to get a little loose and had too much play in it, and I never wanted to put too much stress on that hot shoe because it's pretty useful for other scenarios. But this top handle is rock solid. There's no give to it. When I pick it up, it feels like it's not going anywhere. It feels like I can throw it over my shoulder. There's no wiggle to it. It just feels well made. It kind of reminds me of the Airy kit bundle or whatever you can get for your FX9, where you can have the half cage or the full cage. In that case, you have the shoulder mount pad and you have that top handles. The top handle is a closed loop handle as well on that Airy kit, and this is actually the closest thing I could find to it. Fun fact also, this top handle wasn't even made for the FX9. It was made for the FS7, FS5, and a bunch of other cameras, Sony cameras, but you can use it on any camera that has a cheese plate on top. So I would highly recommend this top handle because it's awesome. Now, this monitor mount is actually really bittersweet for me. It's called the Hawk Lock Smallrig quick release monitor mount. It's actually really dope. I really like the quick release feature of it. You can actually, just quickly just throw it on there. It has this little lever, snaps right in, and when I'm like breaking down my camera, I can just pop that off and put that in its place in my bag without having to break it down fully, which is super handy. But what I don't like about it is how loose it gets when you try to reposition it when it's on camera. Now, it has Allen screws here, right? And also, of course, it screws in right here. You can tighten it on with the cold shoe. But when you're using it and you push it and pull it too often or too much, it gets really loose. These Allen screws become loose and then it just starts flopping around everywhere. So that's something that's kind of irritated me about this. My workaround right now is just to get it fixed in the position that I'm going to be filming it in. Like if I'm doing, bottom ups, I'm going to just lay it flat. If I'm shooting higher up, I'm going to have it facing me this way. But it's something that I don't think I can really deal with for too long, so I'm still on the hunt for a better quick release system because I actually really like the quick release functionality, but I just want something that's a little bit more pliable, something that I can push and pull and not have to worry about the tension, it losing tension and becoming really loose. But if you guys have any suggestions down below, I'll be more than happy to hear them. Let me know, because I am on the hunt for a better monitor mount. Also, considering that I have all those airy point connections on here, I might put a monitor mount on the front of the handle, on the back, on the side. Airy pin is actually really awesome, and I might look for a monitor mount with the airy pin connection. Let me know what you guys see out there, if you find anything or if you use anything that you really enjoy. I might have to pair a top handle with a different quick release system. I don't know, we'll see, but let me know down below. Now, this is another staple on my rig since day one. I've never really used shoulder rigs. I mean, I did in the past with like older DSL cameras. Everyone had the cheap Amazon shoulder rig, right? But I don't do that style of filming too much because I'm 6'8", and I don't really use the extension arm because I'm never putting it on my shoulder. So instead, I opted for this Rosette adapter so I could put the side handle directly on the side of the camera, kind of resembling the FX6. The downside is that I can't put it flat on the table, but that's no big deal for me. I like having it right close to the camera, having a good grip on it. I have my hand on the lens, and I typically push the camera into my chest or somewhere on my body, so that way I have 3 points of contact. And having this really close to the camera body gives me more secure connection to it. It feels like I can really control the camera better. So yeah, this has been on my camera since day one. It has a few scratches and scuffs on it, but it's made out of metal. It's super durable. You can actually screw it by hand if you want. If you want to get it super tight, you can put an Allen wrench in there and tighten it down really tight, but it's not going anywhere when it's on the camera. I wish there was a quick release system like the FX6. Maybe in the future they'll include that on the Mark II of the FX9, but for right now, this has been doing its job. Now, after filming more long form content this year, I decided to upgrade my power delivery system. You know, typically I use these little NanoCore M series batteries, which are great because they have a USB and D-tap. You can actually press this little button here to see how much use the battery has. They're really useful. I actually just plug my monitor directly into this. It sits right into the back of the FX9, and it's pretty flush, so I don't have to worry about it being too big or bulky. But I noticed that they were draining pretty quick with my new monitor, so I decided to upgrade to the Core Neo 9 Mini Gold Mount batteries. Now, I chose Gold Mount over V Mount because it's a more secure connection. I've used several V Mounts in the past on different cameras, and there's always been a little bit too much wiggle for me, a little too much play when you film handheld. I actually worked with someone that actually would hold on to the battery, the back of the battery, while filming as a connection point, which was kind of risky. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you definitely could do it with the Gold Mount batteries. Oftentimes I press the back of the camera to my body to help stabilize handheld footage, and the Gold Mount is perfect for that. Another reason is that, if I ever plan on renting out my kit, Gold Mount is the industry standard and preferred option amongst people that want to rent out, rent gear that are, in the industry. These are awesome though. They give you the power indicator on the back of the battery. It actually gives you the runtime based on the power draw. So right now it says 3 hours and 20 minutes or 19 minutes at 100%. But once I hook up my monitor to it, my camera, from an audio to it, any other things, it actually will give you an accurate readout or estimated readout of the runtime on the battery, which is pretty awesome. And also you have, of course, the button on the side so you can actually see what the juice is right there. Now, of course, the accessory that goes with the battery is the adapter. You have to have something to put the battery in to deliver power to the camera. So I went with the Wooden Camera Battery Slide Pro. I went with this because, of course, Wooden Camera is a trusted brand. I actually know some people that use it, and it works flawlessly for them. And it also gives me the ability to still use BP batteries, which is huge. So I can actually strip down my setup and go with a lighter rig and just put in a BP battery, close the flap or leave it up if I want to. But it gives me the ability to go lighter, which is always a plus. Having that flexibility is huge. Also, you have redundancy because you can put a BP battery in there still, close the flap, put the Gold Mount battery there. So if anything goes wrong with the Gold Mount, which it probably won't, but if it does, you still have power going to the camera. So you don't have to worry about losing a clip. It's pretty dope. Now, when it comes to cables, they're not too sexy. I mean, they're cables. I typically like coil cables because it lends to a cleaner setup. I have a Teradek coiled SCI cable that goes from the camera to the monitor. And I also have the Condor Blue Coil D-Tap to locking DC. It just locks in and screws into the back of the monitor. And then it goes to the battery adapter on the Wooden Camera, goes to the D-Tap there. There's 3 D-Taps on the Wooden Camera, so I have plenty of power options. Now, I recently upgraded to the Shinobi 7-inch monitor over the Portkeys BM5 III. I still have it, but 7 inches just looks better for playback for clients, and also getting composition is easier with a larger screen. You can make sure everything's in focus. It's just better in my opinion. In the past, I also used a Shinobi 5-inch monitor, but that only had HDMI, so once I got SDI, that was out of there. So far so good. I need to get probably a calibrator for this just to make sure the colors are adjusted and perfect. I mean, they're not horrible, they're just not 100% accurate. And also another honorable mention, something that I very rarely use, is this guy, the Pro Basecamp matte box deal. Now also I had like a Tilta matte box in the past. I think I flirted with the idea of getting a Smallrig mini one as well. I like this one because it has the drop-in filters. I don't use it a lot because, for one, the CPL that you can put in the back doesn't play nice with the VND on the FX9. There's like a weird color shift in the corners of the frame when you use CPO with the built-in VND on there. And also because I just don't have a ton of the filters. They're expensive, but one day I might get the blue or gold streak filters. I actually have the mist and heavy mist VND filter, but like I said, I don't use VND too much externally because it's built in internally. But yeah, the only time that I actually used this and it really helped me was on a doc shoot with my friend Matt. It was a high noon, we were filming, and I needed something to cut the light from hitting the lens. This is a super nice French flag right here. Put it up top, and you don't have to worry about any flares or any weird ghosting or anything because you have that top flag there. So all in all, I mean, it's a cool matte box. It's probably one of the better ones out there. They have a cool filter drop-in system. I'd recommend it if you need a matte box, but I probably have used this once or twice since getting it. But yeah, that's my rig. Right now it serves me well and it gets the job done. It's efficient for what I use it for. It's a tool, not a toy, right? So it's ever changing. If there's any problems that arise in the future and I can solve that problem by adding something else to my rig or subtracting it from my rig, I'll do that. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave them down below. Any of my fellow shooters out there, anyone that shoots with an FX9 or anything, if you guys find a good monitor mount, please let me know, something that has quick release. I would greatly appreciate that. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you've made it this far in the video, man, thank you for watching. You guys are helping me make this dream a reality. I've wanted to be a YouTuber for about a decade now. This channel has existed for a while. Even before this channel, I had another one. So if you're gracious enough to bless me with your time and attention, I greatly appreciate it, and I love you for that. But yeah, that's about it for me, guys. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time.